Merry meet, Tyche family. It's time for another riveting and exciting reading into your future and what the fates have in store for you in the week of September 12th, 2022. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I am Priestess of Tyche. I help dole out what's going to come into your future. But remember, it's always up to you to decide how you're going to respond to what comes into your life. Think about it as if you are coming to Vegas and you're walking into a casino. I will tell you where the ball lands after you turn that roulette machine, okay? But you are the one who decides how much you're going to put on that bet, all right? If you are coming back and you've been with us before, welcome back, family. I'm glad to have you. This is going to be a reading for the week of September 12th, 2022. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. All right, my Capricorns. Let's see what the fates have to dole out to you this week, the week of September 12th, 2022. What do the fates have in store for my earth signs? I love Capricorns. You guys are either the boss of every job I've ever been to, little curmudgeons when they get a little older, and also some of the best and loyal friends. All right, remember, whatever comes out, you are in charge of how you respond to it, okay? I've got a good feeling for you though, Capricorn. Let's see. All right, so 3 of Wands, 10 of Wands, both reversed, and then the Page of Swords. So it looks like you've previously been in a rest period, right? Whether that's in a job that you've been in, you know it's maybe not the perfect fit, but you are really so tired of the job search. You're really so tired of going from one place to the next and not having that earthly stability that you like to have, that I think you just kind of sat on your laurels a little bit and just dealt with what you had, because that chase can be exhausting, right? This can also be applied to a relationship. Maybe you were in a relationship and it wasn't passionate and crazy, but it wasn't bad. And maybe you just really decided that you wanted to stay just to have that security, just because you don't want to get back out in the dating game. We all know Tinder is a dumpster fire, usually, and you just were not ready to jump back into that, right? But I do have the Page of Swords here, so it's kind of like going from 0 to 60. So I think that's what's coming up very shortly for you. So let's clarify this a little bit. What are you running towards, Capricorn? Where are you going? We did have the Magician in reverse fall out here. So to me, that's you letting things happen instead of trying to manifest them and control it. So you're running into something and just letting what happens happen, right? Which is a little bit of a change for you, Capricorn, but it's kind of my strategy in a lot of things that I do, and usually doesn't take me down the wrong path, right? And as a priestess of Tyche, I think that you kind of have to embrace that, right? You kind of have to just say what's going to happen is going to happen. I have cards going everywhere here for you. We need it a little more defined. What do we have going on? Let's see. Okay. So yeah, we have the Page of Swords and the Magician reverse. That's you going into something and just letting what's going to happen. You have this Strength card here. I think that this is kind of saying that that's hard for you to do, right? But it's you gathering your inner strength and saying, okay, well, I have been setting the parameters for everything in my life very tightly. And I'm kind of just ready to let the universe bring in what it's going to bring in. And that's great because you're not giving resistance to the karmic opportunities that are coming towards you, right? So then you have the Two of Pentacles here. It's kind of attached to these two reversed wand cards that we pulled in the beginning. I think that what happened is you were kind of staying in a situation, which to me, I'm thinking that this is more of a romantic situation. You had just become complacent, or the relationship had become complacent. And I think you are going to come to a decision that you have to make here, right? You might be getting to the point in a relationship where it's, you're going to have to commit more or leave, right? Maybe they are giving you this kind of ultimatum. Maybe they're dropping hints like, hey, we've kind of just been doing this casual dating thing for a while. I want to be more of a relationship. And that's when you have to make this decision. Do you want to go further down this road with this person that maybe things have gotten a little cold or stale with, or are you gonna hit the road and see what else is out there for you? So yeah, I mean, Capricorn, I really don't feel like you're the sign that anybody should be giving an ultimatum to. I just don't feel like that is something that you are going to respond positively to. And that's going to put you into action, right? You were cool with just staying the way you were, whether that's casually dating, but not exclusive or serious, whether you were exclusive, but, you weren't living together yet, or you were living together, but you're not married, whatever it is, they want you to go to the next level. But you are not feeling it on your end, especially if they come to you with a really, forceful ultimatum, like, hey, it's either this or I'm out. And you might really be out. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. At least that's the way that you're going to be feeling. And you don't really have a plan. You weren't expecting this person to say or do this to you. So I think that's where the Magician in reverse comes in. I think you are kind of just going to strike out on your own and see what happens. Here we have the Four of Wands. You can see a couple dancing under this canopy here. This, to me, I think you're going to go out and be socializing. I think you're just going to go see what your options are and have a good time doing it. For your sign, Capricorn, getting out and letting loose is a really great thing. It's something that's going to be freeing to your soul and make you feel really good. Maybe something you haven't done in a long time. Just kind of let your hair down, go dance with a stranger. I mean, that's not what Capricorn usually does, but maybe Capricorn should think about doing it every once in a while. It's definitely stimulating, right? Yes, you have the Ace of Cups in reverse. To me, this is telling me, look, I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm literally here to go out and date and have a good time, and I really feel like this is you just trying to find yourself a little bit, have fun, focus on other things when you're not having fun. You just don't want to feel this feeling again of being tied down. And maybe this is a change for you. Maybe, in the past, you've kind of been a serial monogamist and you very much stuck to one person, even, longer than, a lot of other people would, simply because you are that serial monogamous, or, you don't want to get back out there again. But it looks like you might be embracing that here, coming up in this month of September. Okay. So you have the Five of Swords and the King of Cups reversed. So the Five of Swords, I really do feel like that's you picking up, your stuff and moving out. You might have to leave some things behind if you had been in this relationship and it was a little more serious, right? Like maybe they'll keep some of your things, or maybe, you're going to make somebody else upset with this. Maybe you guys have mutual friends and it turns out those mutual friends are going to side with the person that you're leaving, or perhaps, there are assets that you guys have shared. And I think that you just might take what you can and leave and just say, keep it, this could be something as small as a sweater, but it's going to be different for everybody for sure. But that's attached to the King of Cups reverse. And to me, this is you kind of cutting them off. And this is a trait of Capricorn for sure. I think once this ultimatum happens, or there's some sort of confrontation that happens here, that you might leave and really just cut off your feelings, right? it's probably not going to be hard for you. I think that you've been kind of suffering in silence in this relationship for a little while, or this connection. It doesn't even have to be a relationship. Maybe this is somebody that you gave a bunch of chances and you guys kept going back, and trying it out again and again and again. And so you're cutting your losses and you kind of have to be, a little cold about it. I feel like this is the way that you're going to break free of this. Maybe you stayed longer than you would have because you liked this person and you didn't want to hurt them. And the feelings of guilt kind of got in the way of you going your own way. And I think that here you'll become the King of Cups in reverse, and you'll just kind of pour out your cup and just say, I can't, I've had enough. I need to think about myself a little bit. Especially when you're coming at me with these kind of demands and you're upset or you're coming at me in a hostile manner. Now, remember, they're probably coming to you with these hostilities or this kind of, give me what I want or, I'm leaving sort of thing. They're coming with you with that and vulnerability, right? They're hoping that this is going to push you to do what they really desire of you, and that's kind of settle down or pick them over other people, that sort of thing. So just remember to have a little tenderness there. You definitely don't need to get yourself emotionally involved, but there is a difference between kind of not feeling guilty and being cruel, right? And we don't want to be cruel. Okay. So you have the 8 of Wands reversed, the Knight of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles upright. So I do feel like this is attached to the Page of Swords. Like I said, this is you kind of moving forward and getting out of this stagnant period. But it's attached to the 8 of Wands reversed. Now, I do feel like this is one of those cards that even reversed sort of has a similar energy, just less so. And the 8 of Wands is really also a card of motion and things happening quickly. And I just think that this is a delayed launch, right? Like you're gonna be leaving, you're gonna have that launch, you're gonna, leave the atmosphere, but it's been delayed a couple of times, right? And it's been delayed because, like I said, your guilt or you not wanting to go out and make yourself vulnerable again, you not wanting to go through all of the rituals of modern dating, which can be tiring, especially for an earth sign who likes to come home and kick off their shoes and sit with a loved one. And not have to worry about the awkward stages all over again. And the Nine of Wands reversed here, I feel like this is definitely something that's new for you. I feel like when you go out and you're really lighting your hair down and you're trying to date and see new people, I think maybe casual sex might be something that is not very familiar with you or that you don't do often, or maybe just because you've been in one long relationship after another. It's just something that you're a little nervous about. So you have the Knight of Pentacles here. And I think this is sort of an advice card just saying, hey, like we're going to get there when we get there. You don't need to pressure yourself. In addition to maybe even being pressured externally, right? So you need to just know your limits and get there when you feel comfortable, and you will get there. You'll go out and you'll have fun. You just need to make sure that you're keeping, your standards high and that you're not doing anything that's too out of character for yourself, right? There are definitely checks and balances to everything. Like I do think that it's great for you to go out and have fun and meet new people and date. It's another thing to go out and be reckless. And I know that that is not common for you, Capricorn. But if you're feeling like you're in a little bit of a crisis of identity and you're kind of trying to find yourself, if there's any lingering toxicities underneath, it can come out as being overly reckless just because you're trying to fight against your usual nature. So just be careful with that, okay? I'm not saying you will. It's just a slight warning for some of you out there who might be in this situation. Yes, you have the Tower reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 8 of Swords. So to me, I really feel like this is definitely going to be a change for you, right? But it is the Tower reversed. So it's not like your life is falling apart. right? You don't need to see that the disillusion of this connection, it's not going to interrupt your career or your other goals that you have. You can still hang on to those, right? And that really makes, this Eight of Swords card really makes sense, because the Eight of Swords is all about feeling trapped, but not really being trapped. I mean, there's plenty of space for this woman to get out. She's not tied in rope or chains. It's ribbon. It's all sort of like a mental prison, right? So just remember that when you're making this decision, if you know it's right for you, don't add other fears on top of this situation, right? So if you're like, say you're leaving this person and they're threatening all of these things, saying like, well, this is going to affect you this way, and it's not going to be good for you, and you're not ready to date, and blah, 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 blah. Don't let those fears get into your head, right? Because this is not going to be some crazy shakeup, right? Like we said, this has been a long time coming. You've kind of felt that the relationship has slowed down and there's less passion, and you just got complacent and comfortable, they say. But getting out of that comfort zone, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? It's not going to be the end of Capricorn. It's just going to be a moment of growth that might feel uncomfortable at times, but most growth that's worth, your time of day is a little uncomfortable. And you get the Wheel of Fortune here, and it's definitely upright, which is great. So this means that this is just going to, like I said, make some changes in your life, especially as, when it comes to your romantic situation, even what you're open to, the type of person that you're willing to date. You dating so casually and just kind of trying out things and letting, the universe bring whoever to you, like this Magician reversed, instead of trying to control everything, might, open up your surroundings and your boundaries a little bit and make you realize that, hey, maybe, I can date outside my type a little bit, and, it's fun. Or I found, that I found new hobbies because I dated this one person who started talking to me about, this particular hobby, and I realized I liked it too. And even if you don't continue dating that person, well, they introduced you to a new hobby that you love now, or a new book series or TV show, or things that you didn't realize that you would enjoy. Yeah, okay. So then you have here, getting to the end of your reading, we have the Hermit, the Chariot reverse, and the Queen of Swords. I really feel like after this relationship dissolves and you going through this process of putting yourself out there and just having fun and just focusing on being with your friends and casually dating and trying new things and everything, even though you're putting yourself out there, at the same time throughout this whole process, you're going to be doing kind of an internal check-in with yourself. And you're going to be thinking about your motivations, the type of person you're with, why you decided to stay in the relationship as long as you did, even though it's something that you've been wanting to get out of for a long time. And I do think eventually, after you go through this lesson, and this is, of course, past this 1 week in September, this is kind of going a little bit further into the end of the year, maybe even the beginning of next. After you go through all of this, looks like you are going to slow down. You're going to learn things about yourself, and it's going to be positive for you in the end, right? So like we said, the end of this relationship is not the end of the world for you, Capricorn. Yeah, so we have, okay, wonderful. Yeah, so we have the Nine of Swords reversed and the Six of Cups. So this really makes me see, after you've kind of gone through this cycle that you're headed towards, it does look like you kind of come out of this situation to openness, right? So I love this card, the Six of Cups. I think it's so sweet. It's really like embracing your inner child and really letting yourself be vulnerable again, letting yourself offer that cup to somebody else who's also in the same position as you. And it's the two of your inner childs coming together and really just enjoying life. I really think that there's some sort of very sweet little love story that might be on the horizon for you. I really do. And I think that this cycle has to play out for you to get to that. And I think the Nine of Swords in reverse here, is you coming out of your more cynical side. Capricorn, I know you guys can be a little cynical. That is definitely a trait that you guys can have sometimes. But I think that this is going to bring you out of your cynicism a little bit. I think the person that you're going to meet, just so you can recognize them when they come along, is going to be optimistic and happy-go-lucky. I have a really wonderful feeling about this person. I feel like they're goofy, they're fun, that they make you laugh. They might embarrass you a little bit in public by just being goofy. And I think that that's something that you need. And it just looks really great for you, Capricorn. All right. Well, if you resonated with that, please let me know in the comments. If you'd like a private reading, reach out for sure. We can expand upon this or keep going down this storyline to see who this person might be and get a little more detail. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Capricorn. As always, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.